In the labyrinth of a bustling city, there lived a man named Julian, a portrait artist who captured the beauty and essence of his subjects. His heart harbored an unfathomable love for a woman named Elora, a talented cellist who never reciprocated his feelings. She was the muse of his dreams and the source of his torment. The city knew no silence, but Julian heard only the bittersweet symphony of his heart. Elora was a woman whose beauty could rival the most exquisite of melodies. Her music possessed the power to evoke the deepest emotions within the soul of its listener. Julian's heart, once a prisoner of his solitude, had been set free by her enchanting presence. He had met her in a quaint gallery, where she played a somber requiem that echoed through the hallowed halls. Hearing the stirring notes of her cello, Julian found solace and inspiration in her art. Their diverging paths crossed occasionally, in the park, at the market, and Julian seized every opportunity to engage Elora in conversation. She was cordial, but her heart remained an unyielding fortress. Although she appreciated the gentle nature of Julian's character, she could not see the extent of his love for her. To Elora, Julian was but a brushstroke in the grand canvas of her life, while to Julian, Elora was the very essence of his being. Over time, Julian's love for Elora became a tempest that raged within his heart. The thought of her consumed him, and he began painting her likeness on every canvas he touched. He would spend hours perfecting each detail, immortalizing her beauty in oil and pigment. To Julian, each painting was a confession of his love, a silent plea for her affection. Every once in a while, Julian would garner the courage to present his creations to Elora, hoping that they would convey the depth of his feelings. However, Elora remained indifferent to his advances, never offering more than a polite smile in return. As the seasons turned and their encounters dwindled, Julian's heartache intensified. Desperate for any semblance of hope, Julian turned to an unusual source. He had heard whispers of a mystical seer who possessed the knowledge to reveal one's true destiny. Consumed by his longing, Julian sought out the seer and presented her with a single question. Would he ever win the heart of the beautiful cellist? The seer, an enigmatic woman with eyes that seemed to see through the veil of time, gazed deep into Julian's soul. She spoke of the threads that connect one's destiny to another, and how the most profound desires could be realized, but only through great sacrifice. She revealed that Julian could indeed win Elora's heart, but in doing so, he would lose the very source of his inspiration, his art. This revelation sparked a fierce internal struggle within Julian. He yearned for Elora's love, but knew that surrendering his artistry would mean abandoning the essence of who he was. In the end, his love for Elora was so great that he chose to sacrifice his artistic gift to be with her. He returned to the seer and accepted the terms of the fateful bargain. The world shifted around Julian as he relinquished his art, and he stepped into a new reality where Elora's love was his. They shared a life full of tenderness and devotion, their days filled with laughter and music. But the price Julian had paid weighed heavily upon him. He could no longer create the works of art that had once been his solace, his joy. His heart, once consumed by passion, was now a hollow shell. In the end, Julian realized that in sacrificing his art, he had lost not only his identity, but also the very essence that had drawn Elora to him. Her love, now his, seemed to have lost its luster, a haunting reminder of the profound loss he had suffered. Julian was left with the eternal question, was love truly worth the price he had paid? And so, the melancholic symphony of Julian's life played on, the notes of his love and sacrifice forever intertwined, echoing through the labyrinth of the city that had borne witness to his tragic tale.